Welcome, and here we go. Hi folks, let's do a Photoshop CC 2021 tutorial. So let's start by finding it first. Photoshop has the blue PS icon, so you'll see it right here. Adobe, and I'm using 2021. If you're using 2020, there's a few tools that are different, but mostly it's the same. You should be okay. Ooh, pink flamingos. All right, so I've been using this for a while, so you see I have all of my previous documents and things up here. The first time you open it, you get another box that talks about tutorials. So you're welcome to use these tutorials anytime you like, but that's kind of what I'm here for. I'm going to do some tutorials. So we're going to create a new document. Now, this is really key. Across the top here, you have photos, print, art and illustrations, web, mobile, film, and video. When we do our video unit, you can use film and video. It will automatically set, if I click on it, you see it sets the screen size for you so that if you're making like a title for your video or anything like that, you can choose the right size without having to know what size your video is, which is very helpful. Mostly, we're going to be working in print because most of the things that we do, whether it's cutting vinyl or actually printing photos and things like that, you want to be in print because it sets the resolution correctly for you. So we need to be the resolution 300 pixels no matter what we do. So I'm going to start with a regular letter size, so 8.5 by 11. You can see here, you can name it if you wish right here. We can also save it and name it later, but I'm just going to label, we're going to do it, I'm going to label it now so that you can see that. So I'm going to call this typography. And then it's going to be 8.5 by 11 inches, 300 pixel resolution, and we are doing it in RGB color mode that is for if we want it to be on the web or any of that kind of stuff. You can choose right here. CMYK is for the sublimation printer, so you could choose that, but either of those for now is going to be okay. I'm going to keep it on RGB actually. And then the background color, you can have it set the background color to white. Most of the time we work with a transparent background, which gives you this checkerboard pattern you're going to see in a minute. And then we hit create. And here's your blank document with the checkerboard pattern. And this is the Photoshop layout. So some key things to Photoshop layout. Your tools are over here on the left-hand side. Any tool you choose that has this little tiny arrow in the corner means there are other tools behind it, and to get to those you right click. So there's all the brush tools that are presented. If I choose the brush tool, you'll notice that this top bar changes. So let me choose another tool so you can see it. There you go. The tools across the top change. So once I choose a tool, then I can navigate in through this tool and change some of its properties. So currently, as you can see, this big giant circle, I have this set very, very high. If I reduce it, you can see the circle gets smaller. So that's Paintbrush, which you will probably end up using quite a bit. And you can adjust it for the type of brush and its size and all of those things here. We're going to actually start with text. So T is for text. And that's going to be the text tool. We're going to use horizontal type, and then you will get this, and we're going to go into how to change all of that. On the right hand side, you have a bunch of panels to use. This is the key panel for you for most things, which is layers, channels, and paths. Okay, layers is where we get the hierarchy of what's on top, what's on the bottom, so what you can see visibly, what you can't. Paths we're going to use when we start to use the pen tool so that we can make a path and then stroke the path or fill the path or whatever. It's a vector. It's going to make a vector diagram inside here for Photoshop to use. In this panel up here, adjustments is what you're going to use probably for editing photos, which we will do a little bit of. So this is all the photo editing or image editing adjustments you can create. And then up here on the left, you have this history panel. This is going to come into play if you ever get stuck and can't figure out where you've gone wrong, or it's 10 steps back and you don't know how to get rid of it, you can come into the history panel, find that step, and drag it to the trash bin. I want you to know, however, that once you drag something to the trash bin in this history, you cannot go back and get it. So this history panel is like the end. If you delete something out of here, it's gone. Also, if you click on a layer and delete, it can delete everything below it if you're not careful. So just use this panel wisely. Not only is this panel here, if we go up here to window, you'll be able to see there's all kinds of things that we can open. Now let's say we're doing type. So we want character panel, which is all of the typography or text adjustments all right here. And in depth, it's much more in depth than the top. It's the side panel. Okay, so those are the major pieces. Your tools here, it changes the toolbar across here. You have layers, paths over here, and adjustments here, and this little bar right here that you can open and close. You can add panels to by going to window and checking them off. Okay, so that's the major layout of Photoshop.